So clearance issues are quite a big problem for a lot of people, especially when your fletching starts hitting the arrow rest or the bow. And today I'm joined by Mike Peart, who's got a lot of experience in fixing these clearance issues as well, to talk about this. So I think this is going to be really good, Mike.
Absolutely, let's get into it.
So one of the things I want to kind of start with is, I guess, the biggest cause of clearance issues is one of the things I want to begin with, and then I want to go specifically into how much clearance is enough, and then at the end I want to talk a little bit about when people might have seen just the shaft of the arrow just tapping the arrow rest, and then the arrow rest kind of flicks out of the way. This is more so just for the Shibuya arrow rests, because maybe if you've got a Hoyt super rest or other arrow rests, that kind of is a problem.
It would be more of a problem, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Shibuya one can kind of just flick out the way, and it's not too much of a big deal.
And we want to be clear that that's probably an international event. That's probably 95% of the arrow rests at the tournament. The Shibuya one is it is the benchmark for sure.
Yeah, and another kind of plus for this is if you do have a Shibuya one and it is getting hit away slightly, it's very resilient against this. Whereas if you've got the Hoyt one, like over time, you're going to need to replace it, aren't you? It's going to
absolutely wear away. But no, Shibuya is absolutely our choice for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to start with, I've got a slow motion video to share, which I think everyone likes a slow motion video. So I'll bring that up.
Good for the views.
And essentially here what we've got is a rear shot of the arrow clearance from kind of what I would call a 5 o'clock angle. But what we're looking at is essentially, I'm going to play this in half speed. It's already high speed, but I want to play it in half speed, and I'll zoom in a little bit. And
that's a great view.
We're just going to watch. Obviously, the arrow is going to bend as the release starts, and you can see the arrow is just starting to propel. And then we just get this shaft kind of tapping the arrow rest there. Also, the fletches are quite close to the arrow rest. I mean, it's not a huge amount of clearance, is it?
There's not. And I want to say that looks exactly like my bow looked many, many times. That is a very typical. I had this sort of setup, this sort of clearance or non-clearance, depending on how you want to look at it. I had this sort of flight for a lot of my career.
And the reason that I started, so on that example, the reason I started videoing it on the high speed and trying to fix it essentially was every so often I'd get maybe one tear of a fletch. And this is probably what most people watching would, see, because not everyone has access to a high speed camera like that, although more phones have got good high speed now. But what you'll probably see from you're shooting at the range or something, you'll pull an arrow out the quiver and you'll see there's a kind of a nick out of one of the fletches. And the reason that you only see that kind of incidentally on maybe one arrow or maybe one fletch is because most of them are fine if we go back to this point here, but you can just see if this were turned slightly more clockwise, then this top fletch here would probably just end up hitting the button, and that's when you're going to get like a little nick out of it, or it would hit the arm of the arrow rest and just get like a tiny part out of the fletch. So that's what you would see. And here you can see I've put some details on the file name because I'm slightly OCD and I was going through loads of things to try and fix this. So this was my ATF Win riser, 44 pounds, 450 X10s, biter overknocks, the small groove. So that's for anyone watching, that's just like a kind of starting point. But essentially, I'd love to talk about, before I show the next video, I'd love to talk about your experience with this kind of clearance and how you fixed it, because that will lead nicely on to the next video that I wanted to show. If you're enjoying this video and want step-by-step guidance from me to improve your technique, check out my Online Archery Academy video courses. Go to onlinearcheryacademy.com, click Explore the Courses for a special discount. Now back to the video.
So for me, I think we videoed the bow, and then the bow encouraged us to make a technical change. But I realized afterwards the coach wanted to make the technical change, and he used the video to sort of show me, to give me the motivation. So, and it was all to do with chin drag. Again, our old favorite one. Our old favorite chin drag was the coach. We could see that he thought I had a little bit too much. I wasn't severe, never hurt me, never upset my skin. But he was like, I think it's just a little bit too much. This is Olympic gold medal coach Lloyd Brown from the USA. And then we went to the high-speed camera and we videoed. Yeah, I had it exactly the same as you. You know, that would just sweep past and just, yeah, I did was it that amount? I think it was even less than that, if you want to know the truth. I've never seen you have that much chin drag, Ash. That's the most I've ever seen you.
Yeah. So that's...
Because, I don't think mine was as bad as that. It was less than that. And it just robbed me of that little extra centimetre of clearance. I never lost fletchings. You could argue that it didn't cause me a performance problem. But I guess, his approach was, right, this contact with your skin is changing the way your arrow flies. What are the chances that this is exactly the same every time? We're acknowledging it's literally changing the way the arrow flexes and flies. So why do we want to add in another variability, let alone your chin? That's really bad. That wasn't your genuine shooting position, was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That really was it? That surprises me.
So it got to, essentially I tried to fix something else. I was basically trying to get my elbow around a bit more, and I did. I went a bit too far.
That's always that's the beginning of every chin contact story. I was just trying to get in line and then overcooked it.
Yeah.
It's me again here. If you don't want to join the courses just yet, but you want help from me, sign up to my free weekly newsletter by putting your email address in at onlinearcheryacademy.com and clicking join now. Or click become a member to join my online membership community, where you can get access to loads of exclusive content, plus ask questions directly for me to answer in Q&A sessions. So check that out if you want to. And now back to the video.
So this is why I wanted to kind of talk through that, because that's exactly the same thing that happened with me with the chin drag, as you just saw. But I think people don't appreciate the amount of difference that can make to the arrow flight. So to circle back to how we opened the video, which was what is the biggest cause of clearance issues, one way or another, it's technique. And normally this is something that happens at release. Chin drag is the thing we're talking about now, but it can be chest guard contact. And also more often, I would say for beginner archers in their first to their third year of shooting, more often it's something to do with the release and how they're releasing with the actual fingers.
Okay. No, fair point.
Whereas once you've kind of got that, then obviously that's good. Then the chin drag is more likely to be kind of an issue. But it is also important. I just want to encourage people, because you can check this. Like I said, not everyone has like a high-speed camera, but you can check this really, really well with just an iPhone or an Android phone or Samsung or whatever, 240 frames a second, and just video. If you have clearance issues, video the chin like I showed the previous example.
Yep.
Video the chest guard like this, because these videos are essentially me troubleshooting, and this is kind of, you can literally see what I went through here. So we'll play through this chest guard contact one, and you can see here just a little brushing of the chest guard, not huge.
Yeah.
And this is where
just
I was
a little bit deeper than you'd expect. Just a little bit.
Just
especially as you're
there.
not. Yeah.
And for me, when I looked at this, I was like, okay, we videoed the chest guard. There's a bit of chest guard contact, but as you all saw, we videoed the chin contact, and that was the one where I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. That's a lot. Yeah.